If you take the time to open it up, you definitely will see the headline, of course, is all about the events that happened last night. Um, and Keith has tried to write as much as he could all of the based on all of the interviews that he had with people the night before. And as you're reading, you also notice another article, not nearly as large, talking about how uh, there has been another disappearance. Pokemon have apparently been mysteriously disappearing from people's PCs. 8 reported incidents total had happened within the last couple of days, bringing the total of missing Pokemon from people's PCs to 37.
Hmm.
The last thing that you see of good note in the newspaper really catches your eye. So apparently there is a Pokemon contest facility opening up in Saffron City, the largest in all of Kanto to date. And they are currently hiring new consultants to fill their roster. Job comes with competitive pay, great health benefits, um, and the application requirements include a resume, 2 professional references, and a portfolio showcasing your experience. If you are considered to be a final candidates will be determined based on an actual Pokemon contest where the applicant must enter 5 Pokemon into the Pokemon contest. How convenient. 5 Pokemon. Very convenient. So yeah, just as FYI. What are you gonna do for the rest of this morning?
Check phone, text her brother. Yeah, I'm fine. I was actually in Delhi across from Explosion. I'm fine. Ooze fine. Checks her emails, checks you for texts. Finally wakes you up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Cuddle Puddle, we need to get you groomed. I need a shower. We have some things we're going to do this morning.
Ooh wakes up and he pulls himself out of the tub and he just kind of flops down onto the ground. Continues sleeping on the floor.
I did not get a graceful Pokemon, did I? Nope. Come on, Cuddle Puddle, up.
Oh. And he finally gets up and he actually makes his way to the mirror and he looks at his eyes.
Oh, I taught him well.
So
I know. Not a long day today. We can come home and have naps after, okay?
he kind of looks at her and looks back at the mirror and then he wanders out to see if he can find something to play with or eat.
Okay. You'll get a call, Tiffany, shortly after, and it is your brother on the phone.
Hi, Trenton.
Tiffany?
I know, I'm here.
I just got your text. How could you tell me this over text?
I'm not a morning person?
Like, I opened up the newspaper, and when you told me that you'd be in Saffron City, I didn't think that you would necessarily get yourself mixed up in all of that.
Trust? I was not mixed up. I was just eating dinner, talking to a potential client, and then explosion happened. You make it sound like I had something to do with the explosion.
No, that's not what I said. Hold on.
Ezra, no, put that down, please. Ezra?
Thank you. I'm sorry. No, that's not what I was saying.
I'm fine.
You're okay.
Yes, are you okay, though?
No, we're good. We're good. I'm good. The wife's good. The kid's good. The Rapidash is good. We're all good.
All right. Although I read an interesting article, and maybe a career change, maybe moving here. Well, I have to actually audition first.
Really? Saffron City? That's a little...
Far?
Well,
True.
I was... You can see he's like picking his words a little bit, and I think he's failing when he says expensive. Not that, well, I mean, not that I'm implying...
I know. I live in a small little flower town in a run control department. I'm aware I hit the lucky jackpot.
Look, I know that you're trying to follow in Mom's footsteps. I know. I don't know. I just don't want you to keep setting yourself up for disappointment all the time.
Well, again, it's an audition first, and I need 5 more Pokemon, and I'm not worried if I find 5. I mean, I already technically have 1.
Oh, you're planning on applying
It's
with
part of
Ew?
the audition process.
You're gonna put Ew in a Pokemon contest. Okay.
I'm very good at what I do. She is trying to convince herself of this.
I mean, I can offer Flair to you if that would help. I mean,
It's a bit off. I'll think about it.
So Ooh has managed to find some of those butterfly wing eyelashes. He's trying to butterfree wing eyelashes.
Yes.
He's trying to stick those on, but they're not quite there. They're more like eyebrows.
Tiffy just looks over like, I can groom him. I have groomed him. Goes back to phone. He's happy.
Says, look, I'm glad that you're going after this. I really am. I just don't want you to, you know, I don't want you to shoot too high.
Well, I'm not quitting my day job today.
All right. Well, just saying. Not that it's any of my business. I mean, I'm just.
Trenton, you're my brother, of course. Although, we're us. I guess we really weren't that close, but you're trying, and I'm trying, and that's good.
Oh yeah. By the way, I wanted to ask, are you going to Navia's wedding? I just got there. Save the date. Navia, by the way, is Cecilia Constance's niece, Jefferson's cousin.
Okay. Does it say I can bring Pokemon? I would love to unleash Ooh on these people. Looks over at Ooh, smiles.
He says, "No, sorry. It says no Pokemon are allowed at
this. Fun.
No Pokemon are allowed at the ceremony or the reception, unless apparently sanctioned by the family. I have a feeling that we're not really going to make the cut."
No, probably not. Darn. At the same time, I do need to get her circle to like me, so I can kiss up and play nice for an afternoon.
Constants are also very good at what they do too. Just don't get yourself too caught up on them too much. Jefferson especially.
Pauses, thinks about that for a minute. You know, I have pictures of us as kids playing with my Barbies together under the tables at these conventions or competitions. It's a shame we don't really talk anymore. Well, I started it, but...
You hear a crash in the background, and then you hear Trenton say,
Ezra!
I'm sorry, I have to go.
Okay.
I have to go.
Love to you and your kids.
You too. All right. Bye. What are you doing when you check out of the hotel, Tiffany? What are you doing / going?
She wants to actually go find Chase one more time if she can. So you head over to Felicity's. She kind of knows he's around that area.
Chase, I'm assuming if he knew you were making something for Lux, that he would have given you an idea of where to find him. So hopefully that isn't too hard. Chase, what are you doing this morning with Lux?
I did let Tiffany know that I'd be somewhere around the diner. If she came back, I would probably spot her at some point or the other inside the diner. So, Chase this morning, he probably he had a rough sleep, just trying to figure out how to piece together the whole lieutenant thing. but he seems, he doesn't hold on to that too deeply, and he just goes about his business. And his routine is pretty much, how do I find food for me and for Lux? So that's his routine.
Okay. Tiffany will say that you'll find Chase in a... Where would you say you are? Like at a park, out in the street?
I would say maybe 2 or 3 blocks in the vicinity of the diner by 2 or 3 blocks. Yeah.
Tiffany, that's where you'll find Chase and Lux.
Oh, actually, so question though. So the crime scene, how's that playing out in front of the diner now that that whole thing happened? Like, how do they quadrant that off, and how is that deal?
Yeah.
How is Felicity dealing with that?
Well, the building is definitely closed. They basically closed half the street. So, like, there's a guy that's like trying to help traffic go back and forth because there's one lane basically. So there is a little bit of a backup, especially for this morning. It is rush hour, and there is police tape around. You might still see one cop car there. But things over at Felicity's is trying to be business as usual as much as possible. So she hasn't closed her shop, her deli or anything.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So I'll be somewhere in the vicinity. I don't know how Tiffany's getting around, but as soon as he sees her, or whoever spots whom, then he'll approach, or she'll approach. Yeah.
There you are. I actually didn't know if I was going to run into you.
I'm happy that you did. I said I'd be somewhere around here.
Okay, this is strictly a prototype. I will do a much more polished version, but for one night banging something out and cannibalizing a pair of old sweatpants, I think I did good.
And he looks
Pulls
at
out
his
the
hoodie.
costume.
He looks in his hoodie at Lux. He's like, I think you can do better than an orange apron wrapped around this little guy right now. So he looks like a pylon.
For making this costume, would you rather roll Guile or would you rather roll Charm?
Okay, if we're going to be applying extra stuff for this, I will probably go with Guile.
Okay, go with Guile.
Okay. Well, they're both 46 right now, so...
Yeah. Let me see how well you roll.
Character sheet. Where are you? There we go. 17, not bad.
Nice. Okay.
6, 2, 3.
So with the 17, as long as Lux is wearing this particular costume, Lux gets a +2 bonus on all Guile checks.
Oh, wow. Nice.
All Guile checks gets a +2. Thank you.
And this is the
Tiffany.
prototype.
And that's the prototype. So
I imagine Ninja Fabric for the final, if she can find it.
if you would like for Tiffany to make accessories for your Pokemon, you might need to talk to her about that.
Nice.
Get some fun bonuses. Okay.
So yeah, thank you so much. This looks amazing. You did this overnight?
Yeah, I have the bags under my eyes to prove it and glasses on.
Oh, I'm sorry you lost sleep over it.
Explosion. I wasn't going to be sleeping anyway.
All right, fair enough. And you're giving this guy some freedom here, because I can't really let him out of here until he's got a decent garb.
Yeah, a funny thing about that while I was kind of researching.
Mm-hmm.
Is he trying to think of the just delicate way to word this.
Is he registered?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, he's not.
You know what? I'm gonna choose to believe you're a good person. I'm going to choose to believe there's a lot of extenuating circumstances I don't understand. I'm going to choose to believe these things.
Well, I found him in a dumpster, if that means anything. So...
Well, now I just feel sad.
Someone else might have registered him, but I certainly didn't. I'm just trying to keep him alive and be a good person and be a good brother.
Oh, you have siblings.
What?
You said be a good brother.
Be a good friend, sorry.
Okay. Have you had breakfast yet? I slept through it at the hotel.
I've been trying to find some work to do in order to pull off a couple coins for a sandwich, but no, I haven't eaten yet.
Well, consider humoring me and letting you have someone to play with.
So at
And
least
I
can
am
do
doing
for-
this strictly for selfish reasons, so it's not
Selfish?
charity.
How is this
Yeah.
selfish?
I
You
hate
made
eating
me a
alone.
costume. So you make me a costume. You don't like eating alone, and I'm helping you by eating with you.
Exactly.
If that's payment, then I will eat with you.
Awesome. Anywhere particular you like? I don't know the area at all.
I just hang out at Felicity's. I generally out in the back, but
Good reason.
You tend to like tables and indoors, so I will.
Yes.
I will compromise for you if you'd like to go inside.
Oh, thank you. So kind.
And we walk towards Felicity's.
Are you going to put the costume on Lux yet, or you're waiting?
No, I'm gonna put it on Lux.
You are going to put
I
it on
imagine
Lux.
you'd
I am.
only have to get it as far as your hoodie opening.
I'm
Okay.
like just
Hand
here.
reaches out,
Flip his
perhaps,
So
Then
Lux.
his sweatshirt starts rumbling around.
and then
Yes.
orange thing eventually gets tossed out.
Okay, so first of all, Lux, this costume feels great. For someone who just took measurements of you, this actually is a better fit than the last costume was. It's not as itchy as the last costume was. It's made some really nice fabric.
Yeah, it's still just sweatpants, sweatshirt type material.
Yeah, but it's
Uh,
still better than what it was. It was the
True.
last one was a little raggedy. I don't know how often Chase goes to the laundromat with it. So it's definitely a step up. And I will say that Lux will have a +1 morale bonus on all of its rolls for the rest of the session. For the rest of
Wow.
the session, it will get a +1 on morale.
Yay!
So Ooh caught the apron as it was tossed out, and he's trying to put it on as like a toga.
Just looks at you and, you know what? Nope. Let's keep going.
So
Food.
the apron is in Oo's possession. Okay.
Yes.
Keep track that you now have a Home Depot apron in your possession.
All right.
Okay. To add to,
Hey.
I imagine it like Ooh just absorbs it, and every time it needs to get something out of itself, it just pulls it out of its body. Shoo.
Yes.
And
I need
Chase,
to figure out how to make capelets for you. I think you would love them.
Chase looks down at Ooh and says, "You take care of that."
Ooh, for once in his life, is completely ignoring both of them. He's just so focused on trying to make it look nice.
But question, did he keep the butterfly wing eyelashes on?
He's got them on.
Okay. Tiffany would have helped him fix them because that's part of grooming before we leave. And also, with Lux's costume, would that count as grooming?
With
Okay.
Lux's costume, would that count as grooming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. I'll say it.
All right.
Not continually,
I'll tell
just
Shayan after
a
discussion
session.
what that means.
Yeah, not continually, but like a session of grooming. So,
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So you'll go over to Felicity's, and the business at her place is busy because it's still the breakfast rush.
Yep.
However, you do luckily manage to get maybe some space at the counter, not necessarily a table, but a space at the counter. And Felicity will see you, and she's attending to a customer, but when she sees you, she'll give a smile. And then eventually she'll make her way over to you again and says, well, I'm seeing an awful lot of both of you, it seems.
I know. I had to come in, say goodbye before I head out.
Of course, she says. I'm hoping that you're at least going to stay for a bite to eat first.
Oh, of course. I dragged him in here with me for that.
I hope you both had a decent amount of sleep, all things considered.
All things considered.
Sleep.
Well, you're in luck, because breakfast, I'd like to say, we serve one of the best breakfasts in town. We've got some great blueberry waffles that are very popular, pecan waffles.
Ew, pecan.
My personal favorite, though, is the chicken fried steak. Nothing gets me ready in the morning like a nice, juicy chicken fried steak, just like my grandma used to make. We use cornmeal to make the bread in. So much better than the flour, in my opinion.
Well, I'm getting into the air hunt at Charmeleon soon. I will just stick with the pecan pancakes.
Can't go wrong
You-
with that.
What would you like, sweetie?
Tor chicken fried milteg. Thank you. Tor chicken fried milteg. Thank you. Milteg. Yes. Thank you.
Are you talking to Ooh there,
Yep.
Petra?
Mhm. What would Ooh like for breakfast this morning?
What's the flavor of that torch chicken fried milk tank?
The torch chicken fried milk tank is probably there's no savory, is there? Is there a savory flavor in Pokemon?
I think there is.
It'll be
I do not know.
if there is, it's savory. If there isn't, I guess spicy would be the closest, but it's not that spicy.
Yeah, spicy is not good for you.
Salty, excuse me, salty. If there is no savory, then it's salty.
No savory.
Okay, that's his favorite.
Okay, well,
Yeah. If it's salty, he'll definitely have that.
okay. Cool.
Oh,
And how about you, baby? She says as she's turning towards Chase.
Well, I mean, I'm a little low on cash. I don't know if
whatever you
wonderful
want, it
person here
doesn't
is
matter.
paying, but I wouldn't mind the torch chicken fried milk tank.
Ah.
That sounded pretty good. If you could put some Tabasco sauce on the side.
She says, "Of course, definitely." She says, and she says, "I'll ring that up for you right away," and she'll give you a warm smile and turn around.
Thank you.
Oh, after you left last night, I don't know if you know who Keith Carmel is. He's a journalist.
I saw him talking to a bunch of you guys outside. He's the guy who came into the diner afterwards. Thankfully, he didn't approach me. I'm assuming
Okay,
the guy-
I guess that kills
the guy
that
with the
kind
crow.
of.
The guy
Yeah,
with the crow. Yeah.
he's really nice. He actually approached me asking about you. I tried to downplay that we know each other. That, if you would have been interested in talking to him, I do have his contact information.
Thank you for protecting me.
I'm more protecting your little friend.
Thank you times two. I wouldn't mind taking that number from you, though.
Sure. Pulls out phone, goes through. Okay, there's the contact information.
Pulls out a Sharpie, turns his arm around to the other side.
I have paper.
That's okay.
All
I
right,
like-
fine.
I like to keep these numbers close.
Okay. Just starts writing it on his arm.
Yep. Thank you. I will. I'll see if I reach out to him. There's someone else I might have to call first, but this is. We'll see.
He's a very nice man for what it's worth.
It seemed like you two were friendly, so if you're a friend, then
Friendly. Oh, yeah. We're better in terms now.
can I trust him?
I would, but I don't know you well enough, truthfully.
Is he a good person?
Oh, absolutely.
I'll take your word.
Anyone that can have a Pokemon sit on their shoulder all day and occasionally break open a pen so it blops onto a said shoulder and doesn't get mad about it, or is actually happy if you surprise him with hugs.
All right. Well, it seems like a good individual. I will. Maybe I'll pay him a visit.
All right.
Thank you again, though.
No problem. Actually, there's a contest I have to win first auditioning. I might be moving here. So I might be looking for a babysitter for you. Nothing promised right now, because again, I still have to audition and I actually have to win.
I'm happy to take care of Ooh for you whenever you're busy.
Very good to know.
And
All right.
Pat Sue on the head.
Oh.
What conversation is Ew and Lux having at the moment?
Well, Ooh swallowed his meal in one bite.
Nice. It was very good. Felicity's
Very
food
good.
here is very tasty. Yes.
Yeah, so he's just kind of basking in it for a while, just like that was a good breakfast.
Ready for second breakfast.
11sies. So he sits there and then he looks over at Lux, and Lux is eating spicy food, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's stealing food off of Chase. Well, probably not stealing, but
Yeah.
helping himself to Chase's plate.
Yeah. So
There's
Chase-
Tabasco sauce on it.
Yeah, well, he likes spicy, so this is good for him.
And I'm going to say that for both Chase and Lux, since you normally don't get to have fine dining like this normally, you both will also get a +1 morale bonus
Oh wow!
for the rest of the session. Both Lux and Chase will get a +1 morale for the session.
So I get +2 as Lux. It's his
It
day.
pays to be homeless. So many things that can boost your morale.
It's a good day. I got to eat.
Yes.
Well, compared to yesterday, I got thrown into a windshield. My costume got set on fire.
You did get
Only
to fly on a crowbat. You did get to fly on or ride a crowbat.
Exactly. It was a nice point.
Okay.
So you will look at Lux and he'll say, wow, best friend, you have a new outfit, just like me. He kind of poses.
Torso more turns to side than head of the costume. Like, I guess? Best friend, though? We just met.
You sound like my other best friend.
Other
I should
best friend?
I should come up with other names for you, like
Lux, my
one of
actual
them-
name?
let's see, one of them is the cold friend, the other one is the grumpy friend. You're the shy friend.
Cautious. Let's say I'm the cautious friend. Because I had a friend before. The hand stops eating and starts pulling. It retreats inside of the costume and then starts pulling from the inside at it. It was different time in life. Forest, bright, smiley, red-cheeked Pikachu? Yeah, Pikachu. Playing together, running, then Breeze, costume off, friend screaming in terror. He is crawling in on himself.
Best friend, are you okay?
I'm fine now. I'm fine now. That day I wasn't. I'm fine now. Slowly
What happened?
starts to push out, try to look normal.
What happened to the Pikachu?
She went crazy. And then I didn't have friends for a while. And her tried to kill me, so I had to run away.
Friends can't kill other friends.
Well, I really hurt my friend and her family. Her did not take it well, and I don't blame them. I probably should have let them kill me, but I don't want to die.
Don't say that.
That I should want to die?
Ooh kind of he's can Ooh reach Lux from where he is?
Your body's amorphous, so you can stretch as much as you want.
So yeah,
You just
Not
can't
even-
hold your form. Sorry.
okay. Not even moving from where he is, his arm is just kind of stretching toward Lux to see if he can kind of comfort him with a shoulder pat.
Chase looks down. What the hell is happening down there?
Lux just kind of accepts it, just going very still.
Says, friends don't try to kill other friends. Maybe he wasn't your friend.
Friends don't make other friends go insane. I'm not even sure if I should have a brother sometimes, but I'm too selfish to give him up. Hand comes out from under costume and starts clutching onto Chase's thigh.
Chase will help him up on the leg. He's like, "Are you guys having fun down there?"
Goes back to eating.
It's like, and then he turns to Tiffany. I've never seen Ooh lose his smile before. Is he okay?
Yeah, Ooh is pretty somber at the moment.
Oh, you okay, buddy?
It's like he looks up at Tiffany and he kind of trying to act out the story with his hands. Like there was a Pikachu and friend, and then friend and but of course his hands stay together.
I'm sure they're having a very something discussion.
Well, they're getting to know each other. That's good. They might be hanging out more often than they know. So. And of course, they can understand everything we say, so they know exactly.
Yeah, and it was actually getting a little bit annoyed that he can't exactly say what he wants to say. So he kind of sulks off, goes to look for a reflective surface so he can adjust his apron again.
He really is her Pokemon.
Yeah, Yu is definitely getting a bunch of stares from some of the other patrons. They're not going to say anything, but they're definitely like... You actually notice, Tiffany, that one of the ladies nearby are, they're eating their food and they're like, as if they're having trouble enjoying their meal with this Grimer right there. Like, they
Glares at them like he's no, be nice.
the one of the woman looks embarrassed at when you meet eyes with her, and she looks away. The other woman glares back at you, like across from her, glares back at you.
People. Looks back over at Chase, honestly. And I thought I was judgmental. Well, I am judgmental, but never. It was not bothering anyone. Then double checks to make sure he is not bothering anyone.
He's not currently bothering anyone.
Still focused in the mirror.
You can imagine, though, that his appearance might cause people to lose their appetite. Yeah.
What? He smells better than most Grimers.
I think Yu and I will probably eat outside when I take care of him. From
Not
now
a
on.
problem, of course.
Actually, I will approach Yu at this point. I'm like, Tiffany, if you'll excuse me, actually.
She will actually pick up Lux, move him onto the counter. You okay?
I'll go up to Yu in the reflective surface and I'll kneel down. I'm like, hey buddy, you want to come and sit by us? I know you want to look at yourself. You're a very good-looking Pokemon, but you're making some people uncomfortable. And sometimes we have to, in order to protect ourselves, we have to not draw attention to ourselves. Know what I'm saying?
Yu kind of cocks his head and he looks around and it's like he's just noticing everyone else staring at him, and he's confused, and then he looks down at his apron as if to say, doesn't it look nice?
I think the apron suits you very well, but you are dripping on the floor, and you're drawing attention to yourself. And I reach my arms up, like, come with me.
And this is probably the first time he's halfway riffing a hug, but then finally he slowly reaches up and still very confused, looking at everyone else. At this point, just continuing to look around at everyone else.
Chase picks up Yu, starts walking back to his seat, looks at the two ladies. Keep eating. And then I sit down with Yu on my lap.
Cassie and Noir are having breakfast together. Fabian is devouring his honey cakes. He's actually getting he's getting, his cheeks are getting a little sticky, but he doesn't seem to care. So
yeah, I'll clean that all the way up after he's finished.
Well, I do know that, while Cassie was eating, she actually would text Molly.
Okay.
So
do you want to do that first then?
I mean, if she would respond intermittently or whatnot.
Sure. So what do you text Molly?
Well, the first one would just be, hey Molly, colon, close parentheses. How are you and your Pokemon doing?
Will Molly send? I'll get back to whether or not Molly responds back.
Yeah.
So Yeah, does Noir and Cassie have a conversation over breakfast, just out of curiosity?
Well, Cassie probably noticed that Nora was up before her.
Mhm.
Nora didn't go back to sleep last night.
Yeah.
Just stayed up.
And will remind you again that you guys did have this feeling that something happened between the two of you, and that you have this, for some reason, you just know that you woke up at the same time this morning.
Yeah. And while Cassie hasn't actually said anything about that yet, she's definitely given Noir some like longer looks, when she thought Noir wasn't looking or anything.
Mhm.
Kind of mentally trying to piece together what it could have been,
Mhm.
if it was a sort of psychic thing or what.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cassie, did you sleep well last night?
So yeah, between bites, she'll kind of, do a half bobble, half nod sort of thing. After swallowing, say, well, as well as you could expect after, the day we went through yesterday. What about you?
Oh, I slept fine. It was great.
No nightmares?
No, no. Yeah, I was really tired after all that. Just hit the pillow, went out like a light.
She'd scoff a little nod and like, yeah, no, same here. Fell asleep with my phone on my chest and everything.
Mm. Mm.
Awkward nod, returning to eating.
Fabian, right now has finished eating his honey cakes. He ate relatively quickly, and he actually is turned his attention towards Fern, and he's actually like, sort of trying to beckon Fern towards his direction.
And we'll bounce over happily.
You'll go over happily, and then I think that Fabian will give a little bit of a sort of like a little grin, and he'll reach out to the Pokemon and start to stroke down Fern's back a bit, and he's got this grin on his face when he's doing it.
Okay. Fern will nuzzle into his hand. Like,
Okay.
Cassie actually will watch and just slightly smile. And after a minute, look back at Noir and say, well, it looks like they're really starting to get along, huh?
Yeah, I've never seen Fabian so... he seemed get along so well with Pokemon, so...
He hasn't gone along
Wow.
this well with Remy before?
Well, they kind of stayed out of each other's way, to be honest.
She'll glance toward Remy if he's anywhere in the room or just in the direction she last thought.
Remy is staring at Fabian right now, petting Fern.
She'll glance at him and nod and say, he does seem like that type, yeah.
Molly, do you text anything back to Cassie?
Yeah, she does, and she texts this back.
Are you able to
It's
tell
gonna
the? Are you able to
Cool
tell the
spelling and
audience?
stuff.
Oh, okay. Spent night in hospital. Yeah, hospital in that spelling. Yes.
Jeez.
Okay, well then, yeah, she'll take the time to text back, just, an I'm sorry, sad face. Is everything okay now? Are you guys better?
And Molly takes quite a while to answer. And then finally she types this one.
Okay.
Oh,
So do you know that number of that delivery service by any chance?
After she was
Just
looking
wondering.
at her phone, but after a minute, or after a second, she'd perk up and say, sorry, what?
There's that delivery service, apparently that came to your work. Do you know their number?
Oh, would Cassie have that information as an employee?
I'm sure she can get it. I don't think she has it on hand currently. That's probably
Okay,
something
and
on-
yeah, she probably hasn't been
it's-
working long enough to have it
it's-
like.
Yeah, I'm assuming that information can easily be extracted from your office's computer system. I'm
So
assuming.
she's not bound to get in there anytime soon.
Probably not, because that entire building is closed up,
Yeah.
at least for the day. So I don't think you'd be able to physically gain access to anything like that today.
All right. So yeah, Cassie would, shake her head off her little, apologetic frown and say, no, not offhand. I mean, I could probably get it at the store, but fat chance of going in now.
Yeah.
Although,
Oh,
I am actually talking to the delivery woman. Do you want me to ask her?
if that's all right, not too much trouble.
Yeah, no, not at all. So, she'll shake her head as she looks back at her phone and sends out another text. This one saying, are you still in the area? Would you want to maybe meet up for lunch or something? Also, friend is curious if you could share your work number. And then sends that off.
Again, after a long while, Molly sends.
Come alone. Okay, so
I'm gonna say that at this point, while you're texting Molly, that Fabian has gone into the living room just next to the kitchen to turn on the TV. I don't know if Fern follows him or not. Yes or no?
Yeah, Fern will follow.
Okay,
Oh,
he'll sit on the
kindly
couch.
fine.
He'll sit on the couch. What does Fern do when Fabian sits on the couch?
Also sits on the couch.
All right. He's gonna turn it on, and when he turns on the TV, it immediately goes to the news, and on the television screen, you can see that Vivienne Kearney, one of the major politicians in Kanto, she's pretty much the closest that you can get to, not the president of Kanto, but like she's definitely up there in the political ladder, and she's in the middle of giving a statement, and you're able to hear this before Fabian ends up turning the channel, because I don't think he's really interested in watching the news. But Vivienne says she has some glasses, spectacles that she's wearing, and she removes them and says, "The events that occurred at the Saffron City Tower was a barbaric and cowardly act of terrorism. Rest assured that these acts of violence will not be tolerated here in Kanto. We are ensuring that our Jennies are working around the clock to ensure the safety of our citizens. We demand order. I demand order. If anyone out there knows any information about who was involved in this treacherous event, I implore you to come forward and speak out." And it's at that point that Fabian flashes over to like I don't know, some sort of cartoon where there's like a love disc is like the starring role. I sort of like see like a SpongeBob-y kind of cartoon, but starring a love disc instead of a sponge.
Corsola.
And a Corsola. Yes, and a Corsola. Corsola can be Patrick. Actually, it would be Corsola. It'll be Corsola Bob and a Starmie as Patrick. Yes, a Corsola Bob and a Starmie. And
It's beautiful.
the Starmie, of course, can talk human, of course. He's like, "Hey, Corsola, how's it going?" And Fabian just kind of stops flipping the channel, and he watches the cartoon.
All right. So while the news was playing, Cassie would have like turned in her chair, like that, kind of to see if she could see any of the TV or whatever, and just listen in the meantime.
Mhm.
And at the end, as the demands were made, she'd scoff a little and turn back, toward the table and just shake her head and say, I don't know why people are still questioning it. I mean, it's pretty obvious who did it, right? Like, who else has the means but Rocket?
No, I'll be washing the dishes, bringing them over and going, well, that sometimes there's crazies who do stuff on their own, Like, you never know.
Yeah, but something at that scale?
Well, people are people. They do weird things that you wouldn't expect them to do.
She'd sigh and just, well, I guess. Anyway, you free to come to lunch today? Figured we could meet with the delivery woman herself.
Well, today I'm working, but I do have a small lunch break. If you want, you can invite your friend to come by my place of work.
Yeah,
I normally
sure.
have
What
lunch
time?
there. It's normally around 12. No, not around 12. That would be past the hour. Normally around 1, around 2, and I have a late lunch because that's when normally people come in.
All right. In that case, she'll text Molly back. Just, 2 sound good? Send that off.
Molly eventually responds with just okay.
Okay. Okay. I will also point out 2 more things that happens this morning. So first of all, Cassie, when you're finishing up your breakfast, so we'll say that the morning paper is also on the table, and something catches your eye on the paper. Apparently, there is a new entry-level job opening at the new Prism Labs facility in Saffron City. And anyone who has any sort of experience, they're taking in, like I said, entry-level people. If they have some sort of background in science, of course, that's definitely very useful. Applicants may send their resume to raspin@prism.com. raspin@prism.com.
Raspin.
Raspin, yes.
Good for him, making his way up in the world.
Do you say that on top, like out loud? Do you say that out loud? Or is this to yourself?
I figure, yeah, as she's glancing over the article, her interest is definitely piqued. And then once she reaches the end, just kind of perk of her brow, like, not really having expected that.
Okay. The other thing I will also say that I think that considering how currently Cassie is sort of out of a job at this moment, Noir is probably like checking her, probably going to her, looking up her bank account online, just so that you could figure out your finances and stuff. And something weirdly catches your eye. You're looking at your account and you're like, what's this? There has been a recent deposit into your account of approximately 5,000 Pokebucks. 5,000 Pokebucks has been deposited into your account.
What?
Yeah, early that morning at like 5 a.m. or so.
Huh?
What do you do?
Hey, Cassie, do you know anything about computers?
Yeah, why? Just glances up from the paper,
Do you know how someone would be able to put money into an account that's not theirs?
I mean, yeah, you just need, some basic information like, the routing number, the account number, things like that. Why?
Huh. Just got a recent deposit of 5,000 Pokebucks that I didn't have before.
That she, definitely lift her
There's no
eyes from the
way.
paper, looking at Noir, and it's like, wait, what? You serious?
Yeah. Like, the only other person who would know this information would be the one who helped me set it up, but...
Well, she'd stand up, because I assume Noir checked on her phone just now, right? Or something?
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, Cassie would get up from the table and walk over, like, holding her hand out to, to ask for the phone without asking.
Nor hand it over. She doesn't know how technology works.
Okay.
Me.
And I assume that like everything looks legit,
Yeah, it looks
don't have
like
to roll or anything.
it looks like according to this, there was an electronic deposit made into Noir's account.
And checking like the transcript and everything, does it say, was any reason given, any note or anything about where it came from?
No, there was no note. There was no reason given. It just says that like 5,000 has been deposited into the account. Normally, you would give a reason or something.
Yeah.
So everything looks legit.
Wouldn't
she
it have
just
like
kinda-
say which ATM it came from or something? Like if it came from an ATM
I'm
or
sure.
online?
Yeah, we'll say that it'll give you like an ATM. It'll probably
I
tell
don't
you
have
which
to roll.
ATM.
Okay, cool.
It'll probably tell you which ATM. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, so I guess Cassie will share that information if she can actually tell where it was.
It was from an ATM in Celadon City.
Okay, well, then in that case, Cassie would ask, well, do you know anyone living in Celadon right now?
No, like this. I'm really confused. Why do I have random money? Is someone trying to use my account as money laundering or something? That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, from Cassie's knowledge, does she think that the account would be safe as it is? Like, sure, they could add money, but does she think they could realistically take any out?
Roll me I'm sure there's a tech skill. What was the tech skill like?
There's technology education.
Yes, technology. Yeah, that would be it. Roll me a technology
Yeah, okay.
education.
Let me find that. I haven't rolled in so long. I can just click this, right?
10. You think it's safe, but I mean, it is a little disconcerting if somebody has access to the account. Technically, well, I should say, technically, if someone can deposit, then it means that somebody could also withdraw, conceivably. Conceivably, they could also withdraw. So, sure, I'll say that with a 10, there's some concern.
Okay. So then after getting, I guess, over the brief bit of excitement from suddenly having, more money, her brow would furrow just slightly again as the thought crosses her mind, and she'd hand the phone back to Noir and say, well, I mean, let's hope that this was, a miracle of sorts, a present from some stranger. But in the meantime, you might want to go down to the bank and have a talk with them, see if anything could be done about this.
Yeah, I'm definitely making a phone call to Celadon Bank.
Just to play on the safe side.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Are you about to move on then?
I was, unless you have something else that you guys.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, would Noir have used her psychic abilities anywhere today?
Ella, would she?
Early in the morning, there might have been like a few objects that shifted slightly when she had a nightmare.
Oh, just
she
like
may
all
have-
in her
Okay.
room?
So you're not like casually, like while you were making breakfast, you weren't like casually.
Oh
like,
yeah,
having
she's
things-
casually like washing
Oh.
dishes with her psychic abilities. Of course she is.
Yeah, no, she's totally doing it like freely, like making things move while she's washing dishes. Yes,
I can't tell if that's sarcastic or not.
I think
Is
she's.
she totally?
I think she totally is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, she totally
Like-
is.
you could
All right,
do that.
well
Why
then,
wouldn't you?
Something that I should probably mention, whether you want it to take place now, Hart, or later on, is that Cassie has psionic sight.
Okay.
So yeah, however you might want to work that in.
Remind me what psionic sight is. I actually haven't read that portion.
I'll try to sum it up a bit just by skimming through. You're able to visibly see any psychic residue left on humans or Pokemon. I would assume though items too, due to the
Okay.
effects of psionic abilities.
Do you have to roll for that, or you just do it?
It's just a thing, and apparently each
Okay.
psychic person or Pokemon has their own kind of identity,
Sure.
And so you can tell like a signature. You can tell
Yeah.
who did what as long as you've seen it
Interesting.
before. So
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I mean, yes, you definitely notice some psionic ability coming from Noir. You also notice something latent coming from Fabian. Very, yeah.
how subtle would you say this stuff is?
How subtle. I would think that it's something you can't necessarily turn off necessarily, but I think it's something you can focus on. So like on your day to day, I don't think you're like actively, since it's something that I guess you just have, you're just used to, you're used to it. So I think that you would have to tell me if you really wanted to get any detailed information on signatures. You'd have to specifically tell me that
Okay.
you're
I
doing
think
it.
I think for now then it's gonna be subtle enough where she just kind of plays it off as she's tired.
Okay.
But I think it would be fair to say that if she were to see that in the future, she would be able to recognize like that's something that she did.
Okay.
Partly though, not to elongate the scene any longer.
Yeah, yeah.
So just-
No problem.
But yeah, wanted to bring that up.
Molly, you're at the hospital.
Hospital.
The Pokemon. I'm sorry, the Poke Center. The Poke Center. And you probably like fell asleep on the chair, and when you wake up, there was actually a pillow on your chair that wasn't there before last night when you fell asleep.
So Molly feels it, and she's kind of confused, but she doesn't really question it. She just kind of she puts it. She doesn't put it under her head. She puts it like under her back to give it some support because she's quite sore this morning.
Okay. We'll say that it's around that time that you're going to have your text message exchange with Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the staff will I guess one of the Joys will say from the receptionist desk, there'll be a PA system, and the Joy at the receptionist desk will say, "Molly Moon, please come to the receptionist desk. Molly Moon, to the receptionist desk."
So upon hearing that, Molly will jump up and immediately regret it. And she'll say, ow, 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 ow. Okay. Careful. She kind of limps over to the receptionist desk.
The Joy there will tell you that your Pokemon, they've finished treating it. It's back to tip-top shape. And they'll ask you, to sign some paperwork. Now, the nice thing about the Pokemon universe is that apparently healthcare for Pokemon is completely subsidized by the government. You don't actually have to pay for anything. You just have to sign that, treatment was done to your Pokemon, just for its personal health records and stuff. So there actually is a bit of a movement that's trying to extend better healthcare for humans, but nothing has been official so far. It's just your standard whatever insurance you have for your job. But all Pokemon centers give their offers services for free.
Okay, so she writes her signature on it. It's very sloppy,
Mm-hmm.
probably in print, not even in cursive, but she writes it.
And they will return back to you a Pokeball, which you can presume has bullet inside of it.
Mm-hmm. So she'll limp outside, and then she'll immediately let him out to see how he's doing.
Okay, well, he'll, look this way and that, and then, once he sees her, he'll give like a little spin through the air and then just kind of tackle her. But right before actually making impact, don't worry, he'd wrap his wings around and do like a little swirl into the air and then set her down again. So it might have hurt, but it wasn't a full-on tackle.
So Molly was in quite a bit of pain during that whole thing, but she says, "Oh, okay, I'm glad to see you too." And she leans down a bit, kind of like an old man walking, and she says, "Oh, I'm glad you're feeling good. Come on, let's go for a walk."
He'll nudge against her once more before offering, his back to her.
Buddy, I might not be in the best shape to fly at the moment. You know how tight I have to hold on just to keep from flying off of you.
So that he'll give like a kind of exaggerated, like sort of nod as though he understands. he'll just wait for her to lead on and walk along at her side.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Who, at this point, I'm not really. I have things planned, but I want to know who's doing what now. The floor is open for anyone who says they want to do something at this moment.
I think Molly's kind of interested in finding Chase.
Okay. Are you going to be flying to look for him?
I don't think so. Like as Molly is, I don't think she's fit to fly at the moment.
Okay.
So I do think she'll just kind of walk around, hoping that she'll spot him, and hopefully the giant crowbat will draw some attention toward her.
For simplicity's sake, I'm going to say that you will eventually find Chase. Where, Shay?
So we're done the breakfast. Where Tiffany, are you leaving town? How did that scene end up? So we can find out where we are by lunch. I think you mentioned something about going back home.
Yeah.
So were you leaving by midday, or are you still in town? Are you
probably by midday? She's lugging a suitcase with her.
All right, and then I guess Chase would be back on to doing his laps around town. So if he sees a crowbat, sorry, it's not flying around. Doesn't matter if it's walking around. If there's a crowbat walking around town,
Let's say that you guys are leaving. Let's say that you guys are actually leaving Felicity's diner when Molly runs into the both of you. Just so.
Small world.
Yes, we'll say that.
You're the girl from last night.
Yes, and you're the one who gave Bullet some first aid. Thanks for that, by the way.
Oh, no problem. How's he doing today? Kneels down, or actually wouldn't have to kneel down. Comes eye level with Bullet.
That's right.
So on his wings, he'd like quickly walk forward and give her a big lick for herself.
I should be used to this by now from poison type, shouldn't I? I should.
And upon seeing Bullet, Oo's eyes will light up, and he'll kind of go in for a hug too. And Molly sees him in his butterfly eyelashes and his apron toga. She kind of looks at him and she goes, "He's interesting. Okay, so."
I know.
And Chase will approach Bullet,
who is currently basically smothering the little Grimer with his wings.
and he pats Bullet on the back, and he looks at Molly and says, "You have a very brave Pokemon here."
She says, I know he's a brave one. He's just wish he would think things through a little bit.
Oh, by this point, he's lifted his head. He's beaming. He likes this praise,
I find that sometimes overthinking things sort of gets in the way. So
You don't say. Eyes drift over to building where explosion happened and then snap
and
back.
of course, he's probably still burnt and stuff because he hasn't gotten healed. So it's like, well, it's good to see that he's all taken care of. And I just pull down this, I just cover up some of the burn wounds and stuff.
Yeah, so Molly will look at Chase and she'll say, she'll look at Tiffany and say, "I'm sorry, could you excuse us for a moment?"
Yeah, sure. I was actually heading out. Chase will see you around, hopefully. Nice meeting you, Molly, again.
Come back, you know where I'm at. This is my home, just out back. But I mean, I'll be around.
All right. All right, you. I'm sorry I have to take you away from your friends, but you get to see Sunny soon. She actually really loves you.
So Ooh will happily go back to Tiffany.
Okay.
Nick straightens his toga. All right, let's go.
Well, it will wave a wing.
And Chase will say, "No, seriously, don't lose this toga. Don't lose this. You take care of this clothing.
Ooh,
Otherwise,
Ooh
you got to bring it back."
Ooh will kind of hug the toga to himself, and he'll nod. So, yeah. So Molly will look at Chase and she'll say, So, what's your name today?
Depends who I have to talk to. I'm
Let's-
thinking of going with Luke though.
Luke?
Yeah, last name Warm.
I got it.
she'll say, all right, Luke, or cookies and cream, or whatever your name is today.
Cookies and cream.
Yeah, I was gonna call your boss next at some point, and I'm fairly certain that's the name he's gonna get. He's got-
Whatever brings him the most confusion, I very much approve of.
Which one's the
So-
cookie and which one's the cream? Sorry.
that was Riss's comment for the people watching the show. I think the ship name is Cookies and Cream now.
Yes.
It made too much sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so Molly will look up at Chase and she'll say, okay, so yesterday when I first talked to you, I know that I was a little bit snippy. And, I'm sorry about that. It's just the stress of the day's events and everything. But yeah, you said something to me last night at the table. You said we should stick together.
I might have said that.
And she says, a long time ago, someone told me that we should also stick together. And that person ended up helping me. So,
And what was his name?
Ian or something, I think. Just some kid from a long time. It's a very long story, but yeah, in some ways you remind me of that kid. And since that person helped me, I think I'm going to offer you a little help too.
And
Now,
how so?
It's not much, but you seem to be one of the only ones of everyone at the tables last night who was really, really interested in knowing and understanding what's happening.
Sometimes I find myself drawn to finding the truth, and that's a big passion of mine. And it sure does feel like, for all the passion I have for finding out the truth, I seem to be buried in a lot of lies.
I know what it's like to really want to know the truth. So here's the thing. I know that I'm not responsible for that bomb, but at some point, someone's going to think I am. And I decided a long time ago that I'm tired of other people deciding my fate. So there's two things I can offer you. I have a friend who is very good with computers, and she was able to hack into the security footage of the building last night and see pieces of what was happening.
I want to meet this person. You don't have to
I'll
come
see.
along. I don't want you being associated with this any further. But I'd like to meet this person.
Well, I'd like to just be able to walk away from this, but I don't know if I'll have a choice. So that leads me to the second thing I have to offer you. I can offer you guys something that no one else can't. No one else can.
I'm listening.
The sky. With my job, I fly all over Kanto. I can be your eyes in the sky. Wherever I go, if I see anything or hear anything, I can bring you some info. How's that sound?
I think that sounds very good. we should stick together. I do recommend you fly by night, though.
Fly by night?
Just stay out of the way. Make sure people don't see you. Just stay under the radar as much as possible.
Let's just say I know a thing or two about staying under the radar.
One day we'll have to share stories about how we got to this point.
Sure, why not?
And where are you
All right.
staying right now, Molly?
Well, you know, my home and my company is in Celadon City, but I'm not exactly fit to fly right now.
We should try to find you a place to stay. I'm happy to help you find a place.
Thanks for that. It does mean a lot.
Until then, I'll be around these blocks if you need to find me. Yeah, I think we'll do well together. Before yesterday, I was certain that I was lost. I was completely lost and had no direction, and I just didn't see the point of many things. It took seeing you coming out of that building and talking to the lieutenant to remind me that sometimes we don't have to understand the things that drive us, but we certainly have to listen to those moments and let them guide us. So I'll definitely see you around there, Molly.
All right then, Chase. Sorry, she doesn't say Chase. She says cookies. And she says, "Oh, by the way, what's your phone number? If you have one."
I don't have a number.
Well, all right. I can give you mine then if you want.
He pulls out his Sharpie, pulls up his sleeve. What is your number?
She gives the number.
Okay.
I'll see you around, Moonchild.
Okay. Bye then.